It's Max Calendrillo from the Maximum Podcast, and today I have an undefeated, up-and-coming, future heavyweight champion, heavyweight prospect with me, Lorenzo Medina. How are you, champ? Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. My name is Lorenzo Medina. I'm 11-0, 9 KOs, 19 years old, out of Miami, Florida.
Yeah, and he's been absolutely dominating the heavyweight scene, and he's one of the best up-and-coming fighters we have in the sport right now, and he's been absolutely dominant in all of his bouts. And, you know, just update the fans. People know you. What's your plans for the rest of the year? What you thinking about doing next year before anything?
So I'm taking a little break right now. I just had a baby. So Valentina, Teresita Medina. But, you know, I'm going to let that ride for a little bit, and, you know, we'll get back to it either end of this year or next year.
Awesome. And he's been, as I said before, one of the top heavyweight prospects right now. And, you know, what's actually interesting is he actually didn't begin fighting in the amateurs until later. He's actually a late bloomer. Tell some of the fans watching, you know, how this journey really began for you and what made you really decide to commit yourself to fighting.
You know, it started with an after-school program that, you know, it was $10 a month. It was a POW program. And I was living in the gym from 7, 8 years old, you know, in the POW program. Stopped training for like 3, 4 years, moved in with my grandmother, and I took a break. But when I was 13, 14, I came back, and, you know, I started taking it seriously and had my first fight when I was 15. And, you know, it was going good, you know, and I think when I started going to these nationals and beating top guys and losing the finals, you know, it is what it is, but I didn't have as much experience as a lot of these other guys, and I was doing great, so I said, why not make some money for it?
Of course, and is that when you realized that you wanted to commit yourself to it? Because you saw that you were competing with the best out there, and you didn't even train as much as these guys did. You started later than these guys did, and you saw you were already on their level. Is that when you said to yourself, it would only make sense for me to truly commit to this sport?
You know, like, even though I didn't have as much experience, you know, I got that experience from sparring. You know, I sparred a lot of great fighters, and we sparred a lot. You know, we were sparring 30, 40 rounds a week. And honestly, when I saw, you know, I was in the ring with some of the best fighters in the world and holding my own or even getting the better of them sometimes. So, of course, you know, I had that confidence. And I think from the ages of 14, 15, I really knew I wanted to become a professional boxer. Mm-hmm. And it's always been a dream of mine since the first time I stepped into a boxing gym.
Yeah, for sure. And we see the passion when you fight. And what makes it interesting is when you fight, I feel like you have a little more than a lot of these other up-and-coming fighters. I see that there's something more special about you than these other fighters. What do you think it is about you that separates you from your competition?
I think in my past life, I was a boxer too. You know, I'm just like a veteran.
That old mindset?
I'm a veteran straight out the womb. And if you listen to my music taste too, you'd understand.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, same way I box. You know, I like the old school, like 90s, 2000s R&B. That's just how I box too.
What you gonna walk out to next fight?
I'm thinking about singing. Walking myself out.
You'll be the singer.
Maybe some like Jagged Edge or something.
maybe some Frank Sinatra just for jokes.
Yeah. That's life.
So where do you want to fight? What places do you want to fight that you haven't fought in before? Because I feel like this is an underrated question.
I want to fight in that outdoor arena in Cali. That would be a dope one.
Formerly the Stub Hub, right? In Carson, California?
So. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fighting outside. That's where Andy Ruiz had a lot of his
he fought that big Russian dude or Ukrainian dude.
Dmytrenko, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the best fights would always be made there. Normally they would make fights in formerly the Stub Hub Center when they knew that it would be an all-out war, when it would be an all-out battle. And to the people watching, if you haven't seen his fights, every time he fights, he brings violence. He brings power.
And that scared-ass heavyweight, Federico Pacheco, he fought there too. He dug smoke like thousands.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit for the fans?
Nah, like I beat his ass in the amateurs, and I was trying to beat his ass, like knock him out in the pros, and he said no, even on like 2 weeks' notice.
Really? You were going to take him on 2 weeks' notice, and he already had a previous training camp.
Yeah, on the David Benavidez, Caleb Plant undercard.
Oh, man. We were actually at that fight, so I would have seen you fight live if that happened. Come on, why are you ducking smoke, man? Come on. We want to see that fight. It's funny because I feel like a lot of fighters have turned you down. You don't have to elaborate on that too much, but why do you think a lot of these guys don't want to fight you?
Nah, because, like, they want a lot of money, and you know, I'm up and coming.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, you know, like, you got to wait a little bit to get that money and make those $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, $250,000 fights. And these dudes are asking more than they're worth. Like, You got some dudes asking me for 40K. I'm like, your life's not worth that. Your life's not worth 10K to me, bro. Like, I don't care.
Fair enough.
I'll go find somebody else.
That's fair. That's fair.
And it's just because these dudes aren't confident in themselves and they don't want to lose for a small paycheck.
To a 19-year-old too. You got to realize this guy's only 19 years old. You know, he started really early.
Well, we offered dude $30,000. You know,
Yeah.
and they still said no. Like, at the end of the day, dudes just don't want to. They don't want to lose.
Yeah.
For less than they think they're worth.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems that these guys don't really have that confidence when taking you on.
Nah, man.
Yeah. So when it comes to you not learning, but really getting into it late, who are some fighters that you watch that I'm not gonna say you want to emulate, but some of your favorites?
James Toney for sure. I was just watching him out. I love that fight when he won the heavyweight world championship. John Ruiz. When he beat John Ruiz.
Fair enough. And I feel like when you fight, you almost implement a little of that James Toney slickness because you're a big guy, but you're very quick, especially for your size. You have very good head movement, very quick hands.
But nah, like, forget the hands. Like, I think what separates me is the footwork, you know, the foot movement. These dudes, by the third, fourth, fifth round, they're not moving their feet too much. Yeah. Just like, I mean, I feel like that's why Jared Anderson got knocked out. When he was boxing, moving his feet, he was easily beating Bacoli. And when he got hurt, you know what he did? You know, he walked right at him like every other heavyweight would have done instead of moving his feet and recovering the right way. It just showed, like, Bacoli had the experience on him and he used that against him. And I feel like, man, that experience is built in me, like, from a young age. Like, I just have those, like, veteran senses.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I've been hit with big shots in fights. I've had to move my feet. But nobody has ever dropped me. You going to count that one where Joshua Temple stepped on my foot?
That was a terrible call from the ref.
I knocked him out so bad he thought he won the fight after. Nobody even remembers the step on the foot. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But, like, I can't see myself getting dropped by any of these heavyweights.
Yeah.
I can't see myself losing to any of them.
That's the mindset you have to have.
That's just my mindset.
And you put in the work to where you truly believe it as well. You're not just saying that you know what you're capable of due to the work that you put in.
I've been in the ring with the best heavyweights in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've gotten the better of them.
And do you feel that what separates you from these heavyweights, as you mentioned, is that you can do more than just fight and brawl? A lot of these heavyweights, they depend on their size and their power.
I don't want to fight and brawl with these stank-ass heavyweights. These dudes don't put on deodorant half the time. I'm okay with beating up these tall dudes from the outside.
From afar.
Yeah,
you don't want to get too close to these sweaty, chubby men.
Bleeding on you and
Oh,
stuff.
no thanks. I'm all right. So I want to ask you, because I remember seeing an interview of you, where you told me a particular fighter that you fought. You can name him if you want. I'm not going to be the one. If you want. His wife was talking trash about you after the fight.
Joshua Temple.
So
he I must have knocked him out so bad he asked me for a rematch after. I said, when you get knocked out in a 6-round fight, you don't get a rematch, bro.
I don't think you would, right? So keep in mind, you're 18 or were you 18 or 19?
I was 19.
You're 19 and you're fighting a 30-year-old man.
He was an Olympian too.
Olympian.
12-2, hadn't lost in 5 years, 10 knockouts, and he had beat good opposition too.
So this guy's 30 and his wife is talking trash to you in your DMs.
Not only to me, she replied to like 80 comments on the post and stuff. But I mean, who cares? That comes with the game, and that just means you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I didn't let it bother me. She was texting me all night, the entire night, thinking I was gonna look at it. I turned off my phone. I just went to sleep.
You think he's like?
I wasn't gonna lose sleep over that dude. You know, I didn't respond to her, and I just sent her 3 dots after I knocked him out.
Oh man.
Conversation was over. She said, the lady was delusional. She was like talking about that they were up in the scorecards and they stopped it for me.
He was done. I saw it. The guy was done. The guy was done.
Thank God they stopped it. You guys have children.
So success is the sweetest revenge. You knew that. You didn't have to say anything because you knew that your hands would do the talking in the ring.
Yeah.
That's the case, and that's what we ended up seeing happening. And in that bout, he was very awkward and unorthodox, but you adjusted to it. You figured you were winning the whole fight, but it was a little uncomfortable, and you were able to make it easier and break him down.
You know, I'll be
objective.
No, I'll be straight up. Like the cards had me losing the fight. I had to knock him out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just because of that knockdown, which the punch didn't even touch me.
Yeah.
But whatever, like, I was going to knock him out.
So it seems like in that card, like, everything was against you. Because I saw the fight. You were not losing that fight. Anyone watching. First of all, you weren't losing the fight. Second of all, the knockdown was a terrible call. And I remember there was a point you dropped him. They didn't rule a knockdown. Is that correct? Where you clearly dropped him. They didn't rule a knockdown.
He hit the floor like 3 times.
And they only called like one of those knockdowns, right?
No, they didn't call any.
They didn't call any. So you dropped him multiple times. They don't rule them. You get dropped from your foot getting stepped on. They call that. And you're somehow down in a fight where you've won pretty much every round. If you didn't stop him, you would have been screwed because they clearly...
If I would have dropped him, I would have got a draw. And if I wouldn't have, I would have lost.
Yeah.
Even if I won the round.
And how much time was left when you stopped him? There wasn't that much time.
No. I stopped in the first 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
The last round.
I forgot that. Okay, yeah. You got him out. You made sure.
Nah, I told my coach because he was like screaming at me and stuff. And everybody was tripping. And I'm like, I just told him, I was like, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I heard him, it was always the 3-2. And he would freeze.
Yeah.
But I never even like stepped in with the other ones.
Yeah.
So when I started moving my feet, listen, I didn't move my feet a lot that fight. And when I started moving my feet is when they went to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
What happens if you rematch him? How quick would you get him out? A round? 2 rounds?
Come on, bro. It's not like... I don't entertain that stuff, you know?
Yeah, I feel it. I
don't entertain that stuff.
Because you know it's not... You know that's the best he could have done. If you fought 10 times,
he had a
camp,
9 times he had just came
out.
off a win, too. He had a lot more experience than me. He had way more amateur fights.
30 years old, you're 19.
Come on, like... he was supposed to beat me in every way. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to knock me out. He didn't have power to knock me out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't. Like, I got a chin.
Yeah.
Nobody could say I don't. I've been hit by the biggest heavyweights in the world. I've never been dropped in sparring. So, that guy wasn't going to beat me.
So what do you think about this next generation of heavyweights? Because you're part of it. What do you think? Do you think they're solid? Do you think you have some really great fights in your future? You think these guys really aren't that special?
No. There's definitely some good heavyweights coming out. Ali Feliz, he beat me in the amateurs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember hearing about him.
He's a pretty good fighter. He just got signed to Top Rank. I mean, look, Richard Torres, he's doing his thing, you know. There's a lot of good fighters out there. But at the end of the day, like, I don't pay attention to... I don't watch them. I'll be honest with you. Like, I watch my old school heavyweights. Mm-hmm. I watched the David Tuas, the James Tonys, Evander Holyfields, Riddick Bowe.
Of course.
Like, those are my favorite fighters, and Julian Jackson was a monster.
Oh,
too.
man.
But I think, like, other than James Toney, my favorite fighter would be Georgie Benson. I think he was way, like, above his time. Mm-hmm. And honestly, Georgie Benson was doing stuff that these dudes have never seen in their life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can say he didn't create that shoulder roll. You know, him and Ezra Charles were the monsters at that time.
So it's super old school.
1960s.
Like the pioneers of the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest fighters of all time. And it shows that you do have an old soul, like you mentioned, because you're paying attention to these guys that I'm
a throwback fighter, bro. Like,
but even throwback fighters aren't watching these type of guys. Like, you're really, like, going way back.
Bro, I honestly, like, there's been 1,000 fights. I'm not going to say 1,000. There's been a couple fights that people say I shouldn't have taken, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fighter, and fighters fight. I'm not here to, like...
You're not this new generation softer fighters that, if I get paid enough, I'll fight a lower risk.
Don't get me wrong. There's a business, and there's a way to do it the most beneficial. You want to be in a situation that benefits you 100%.
But you also give the fans what they want.
And as an up and coming boxer, like, you can't pick and choose too much.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers at that point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, you're still early.
So like that 2-day replacement when on the, I think it was my 7th fight. Okay. I fought Angel Napoles.
That fight went the full 6, right, or full 4?
That was my first, 6.
Yeah, I remember.
And, you know, I had like 20 phone calls saying, don't take that fight. Because he was an Olympic alternate. He had like 250 amateur fights. He was just coming off his first win as a professional. But, like, man, I'm a fighter. And like I said, fighters fight. And it was my first opportunity to fight on DAZN. So, you know, it was either take that fight or maybe lose that opportunity. And I trained real hard for that fight. You know, like, I was confident in myself and I knew what I could do. And I think it just proved to everybody that, like, I get better with pressure.
Of course.
You know, like, I was dancing in the ring with that dude. I was sitting in the corner making a miss, beating him up. So honestly, it's only gonna get better when they give me more rounds and harder fights. Imagine me in a 10-round fight beating up these big, soft heavyweights that gas out in 4 rounds.
They're going to be tired. You're going to take them out. Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be that first-round knockout dude. I'm going to be the dude that's going to beat you up. I'm going to hurt you.
Dynamic.
And I'm going to stop you later. Cool.
Dynamic, yeah. And as you see...
I got a lot more skill than some of these top heavyweights.
Yeah.
So, you know, by the time I'm 24, 25, it's going to be game over for everybody.
Because you see, even the top heavyweights, they're fading in the later rounds. You know, they're done after like 6, 7, 8 rounds. So...
Look, bro, Andy Ruiz... got whooped.
Yeah.
Big Baby should have took that win.
Yeah, Big Baby, I thought edged it out too, yeah.
I didn't even think he edged it out. I thought he won the majority of the rounds. He lost the first 4 rounds.
And then won the last 8, you feel? Or like, much?
I think I would have had it. And no, I think he won the first. I think he lost the first 2, won the 3rd, lost the 4th. And then I think he lost like 9 or 10.
Okay, but you definitely had Miller comfortably heading.
Like I had it like 7-5, or was it a 12 round, or was it?
It was a 12 round.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 12.
It was 12. Okay, yeah.
I had it like 7-5 easily.
Yeah.
For Miller, and Miller wasn't gassed out at all.
Yeah, that was probably the best draw Miller.
He wasn't even sweating.
He looked solid. He was actually getting close to even putting Ruiz away at one point. He was really starting to put it on him.
You know what I'm saying? And like you got all these dudes, like they'll be great for the first couple rounds, but
yeah,
you just gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. You gotta make them work.
A lot of these bigger guys, they abandon the fundamentals because they rely so much on their power and their strength and their size.
And I'm so happy that God didn't bless me with some crazy right hand where, like, a lot of these dudes, they fall in love with their power shot and they forget about the fundamentals and the skills they have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even Wilder, like, that guy had a nice jab, you know. He knew how to put his... And then he fell in love with the right. And you can't even blame him when you're knocking guys out that easy.
Nah, listen, Wilder's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Of course.
Wilder's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Of
and
course.
Nobody can say otherwise.
Tremendous talent.
You could say he didn't know how to fight. He knew how to set up that right hand.
He was a champion. He almost became undisputed. And honestly, different world. If he got that
he fought anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody you put in front of him, he would fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just nobody else wanted to fight him. That's what people don't realize. Nobody else wanted to fight Wilder.
Different world, he would have gotten that Tyson Fury knockout win and been the man to dethrone Tyson Fury's undefeated record. So Wilder,
everybody says that count was long.
It was a little stretched.
Everybody says that count was long.
It was a little stretched.
They said they added 3 seconds in that count.
You can argue it, but I think Fury getting up and hurting Wilder later. But the point is, Wilder, he did have really good fundamentals, and even Triple G, my favorite fighter of all time, his fundamentals are amazing. But I feel like there was a point where he became a little more in love with the knockouts and kind of.
It's not even. I feel like it wasn't even his knockout power. I think it was more the fact that nobody could hurt him.
Yeah, he just walked through everything.
Nobody could hurt him.
He gave up a little too many rounds against Canelo, and the judges took it.
I feel like he still has his facilities, though. Mm-hmm. You know, I've heard him speak, and he speaks pretty well.
Yeah, he might fight Crawford, I heard. They're trying to make him versus Crawford, which would be crazy.
I don't know if he should fight again.
If I were him, I'd be done. Or fight like a homecoming in Kazakhstan against...
I understand why they want that fight, you know, because he fought Canelo a couple years ago.
Two big names.
And he did pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I think Triple G did great all 3 fights.
Yeah, I agree. Third fight, he made it competitive as well.
Even though he was older.
What was he, 40? I think he was 40 at that point. Those later rounds, he was coming on.
And he's been in a lot of hard fights, bro.
Yeah, the Jacobs. The Derevyanchenko one was brutal. And he kept going, so...
Derevyanchenko's a monster, too.
He is, and that guy has like 5, 6 losses.
Cool. He's a cool dude. Like,
you met him?
He used to go to Davy Powell all the time.
I remember, and you know, I feel bad for him because he had so many fights he could have won that the judges... I'm not going to say they took from him, but could have went in his direction. You know what I mean? Multiple. Triple G fight, the Jacobs fight, even the Charlo fight was very competitive, and... He's a people's champion. But when it comes to these guys like Derevyanchenko and Triple G, they became top-level fighters later, and they stayed in the amateur system way too long. And the big advantage that you have is you almost went like the Canelo route, where you made your debut earlier, and you're going to have a much better legacy because you're going to have a much longer legacy as a pro.
No, for sure. You know, I think this sport is all about legacy. At the end of the day, like, as a human being, just in general on this earth, I think everybody's goal should be... You know, leave something that someone's going to remember you for, or everybody's going to remember you for. And I just want to make sure that people remember me for that. You know? Yeah. I want to make sure that my name doesn't fade away.
Correct.
You know, a couple years after I retire.
Yeah.
You know, people forget world champions every day.
Of course,
you know?
Of course. You know, if you leave a legacy, you never die. If you leave a good legacy, you never die. So that's how you stay immortal on Earth, is by leaving that legacy. And that's what you aspire to do, you know?
This boxing stuff is only a stepping stone to do even bigger things, you know? It's only a small time in my life. I'm going to retire probably 35 years old, 36 years old. I'm going to have my entire life ahead of me, and I'm going to be able to do so many great things because of boxing.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to segue into an interesting point because I made a tweet recently, and I've been thinking, why don't we get fights in Miami? Would you be willing to, once you're up there, once you're a champion, bring some fights back to Miami?
No, for sure. Like at the Marlins Stadium. That's a great stadium.
Yeah, we get nothing over here, and we're one of the biggest. You know, business is booming in Miami. Everyone's moving to Miami. It's becoming one of the prime spots in America. But boxing isn't following through. I think
maybe it's more expensive. I don't know. Honestly, like, maybe there's not a lot of fighters from down here that are...
aside from the Cubans, aside from the Cubans. And I've noticed that I've gone to a lot of fights.
And all the Cubans aren't even down here.
They're leaving, you feel like?
They're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas, a lot
Bob
of them,
Santos and stuff, and who's the other guy? Oh, Salas.
Salas, the trainer. And what I noticed is I've been to a lot of fights here, and they never...
One-sided fights.
It's one-sided, first of all, and they don't really sell out like that. Like, the fans are kind of...
Because half the fights look like they're in somebody's living room.
Yeah, like, I was at the Demetrius Andre Luke Keeler fight, Jake Paul's pro debut. It was January 2020, Jake Paul versus Gibb. It was in Miami. It was in some random... Like, it was a nice area, but the area itself for the fight, people were standing watching from a balcony. I'm like, what is this? This is, like, the most weird arena. This isn't even an arena. It's like, of course the buzz is going to be that crazy, you know? It's whatever. It's weird.
Honestly, man, I would love to fight in Miami. I fought here twice. My last one was a great experience. The one before that was like iffy.
Yeah.
But honestly, you know, I always love fighting down here. I always sell a lot of tickets, and it's always a good feeling. You get that extra boost of confidence when your people are watching you.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you've been here your life. You've represented Florida for a while, and it's just nice to fight where you're from. You know what I mean? And to represent, because you're the hometown guy. When everyone comes to watch you fight in Miami, you're the Miami guy.
Yeah, like, I can't say I see any other, like, especially heavyweight prospect coming out of Florida.
I can't think of any. Right now.
You know, like, I was the only one winning tournaments when I was down here. When I was an amateur, I was the last one. Honestly, I'd say in a long time to win a national title, especially a USA Boxing one.
So what exactly... I'm not gonna say accomplishments, but what are some of your accolades in the amateurs? Because I know you didn't have that many fights, but if someone sees your amateur like pedigree, what would you tell people? Like national champion, just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to a lot of nationals. I went to 4.
Okay.
I placed finals in 2 of them, semifinals in 1, and then I was a champion.
Nice.
My last year.
You got it. You got it right before you ended.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to do as an amateur. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to win a national title, be number 1 in the country. I was planning on going and do the World Championships or like trying to be a part of Team USA and stuff, but there was a lot of complications with like the COVID and stuff. So I thought like the professional route would be the better route for me at the time, and I definitely have a more professional style than amateur style. Much more.
Definitely more fitting for the pros. Now, when we bring up amateur boxing, a big thing is how they're taking boxing away from the Olympics in 2028. What's your thoughts on that? Because I've actually gotten some mixed thoughts from the fighters. What do you think?
You know, you can only do so much. You can only like be so corrupt for so long before somebody, you know, takes action.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel like the Team USA has been the same in a long time.
Yeah. I would say the last great Team USA was when Errol Spence and those boys were in Team USA.
And how many gold medals did we get out of there?
None. We haven't gotten a gold medal in America in male boxing, and I don't know how. When was the last time? Like not Sugar Ray. It was after that, right?
No, it was.
Floyd got silver. Roy got silver.
Yeah.
We got gold for America. I forgot. It was a while though. We got 3 silver medals last time, which was unfortunate. Not this one. Last time we got 3. We got Duke Reagan silver.
We only got 1 medal this one, I think.
What was it? Was it bronze or silver?
It was silver.
Who got that medal? I wasn't keeping up.
Oh no, it was bronze from I think that kid Jamal Harvey. The young one.
He'll be solid. 19. He'll be solid. Yeah. But we got in the 2020 Olympics, which happened in 2021. Duke Reagan got silver. Keyshawn Davis got silver, and
that was a pretty.
Richard Torres got silver. Yeah, that was a solid team, and honestly, a couple you can argue that Keyshawn edged it out. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
You can argue Reagan.
Who would you think? Who do you think wins now, though?
Between him and Andy Cruz?
I think Andy Cruz wins.
I mean, I wasn't super impressed with Andy Cruz's last fight, but I do think Andy Cruz is a beast.
I thought that fight showed why he's gonna be so great.
You think so, for real?
He went through some adversity,
and he did well with it.
And came out and
I am very impressed in Keyshawn as well, though. I think they're both looking very good. I think Keyshawn Davis will be a champion for sure. I think Cruz will be a champion for sure, and I think that fight in the pros will be very interesting. I think Keyshawn's style is a little.
And Andy Cruz hasn't even had 5 fights.
That's true. They're putting him in there quick, which I like. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the route they made Dave Morrell go through. You know what I mean? Very similar. Not Loma, because Loma, they gave him a title shot right away.
I thought Dave Morrell might have lost his last fight.
He didn't look that, and I was surprised, man, because Dave Morrell.
I've been in the ring with Hot Rod a couple times.
Hot Rod's he arguably beat, most people thought he beat Marcus Brown. You know what I mean?
I thought he did too, and he took that Better Be fight on like 3-week notice.
Yeah, and to be fair, Beterbiev is an animal, so you can't hold it too much against him that he got stopped, because Beterbiev, I think he's.
And it wasn't even like he didn't get knocked out, bro.
He didn't. He
didn't
made
even
it,
hit the ground.
He made it competitive. I mean, he gave Beterbiev one of his better fights, you know. And Hot Rod, his style is very unorthodox, and he punches from very interesting angles. He's durable. He comes to win every time. He fights. You know, there's a quote from Jorge Masvidal where he says, "What changed his career for the better is he stopped fighting in fear of losing, but he fought to win." There's a difference fighting not to lose and fighting to win. Hot Rod, when he gets in there, he fights to win, and you can tell he doesn't care that he's the underdog. He was a huge underdog against Brown, and he was a massive underdog against Morrell. And in both fights, he came to win and brought it to both of them. So, yeah, he gave Dave Morrell a great fight. I've been very high on Morrell for a while, so that was very impressive.
You know, I like Morrell, but I don't think he's like the next big thing.
I feel you. That's fair. So, you said you want to take some time off and you're going to get back in the ring in 2025, or late 2024. You can take some time off. What do you want to do when you get back? Do you want to get in there for an 8-10 rounder, get in there quick, build up, or do you want to have a few more just to warm yourself back up? Tell people.
Nah.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
about it. I want a 10-rounder.
You right away.
I want a 10-rounder. You know, maybe take one fight and then fight again in 2-3 months and go for a junior title.
Yeah, of course, get there.
I want to get a junior title bad, and I got some names that I'll say soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on blast soon.
Make some offers soon as well. Get put in the rankings.
No, I'm going to make them take the fight. See, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've been taking care of my baby and handling that stuff right now. But when I come back, it's going to be good, bro.
This is like the calm before the storm. Like it's the last time you're going to let yourself kind of take a break.
No, I've been working on all my weak points while I'm out.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's fair.
I've been hitting the weights, staying good in the kitchen and stuff, and getting my mental good, you know?
Yeah.
This boxing stuff's 90% mental, and
yeah.
I think for a little bit, like, I had a lot of stuff going on. My life was changing a lot, and now I'm finally easing down, and I'm ready to really put all my energy back into boxing and show out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You ever want to be in one of the Creed movies? Be one of the fighters in the Creed movies? They give you that offer, you taking it?
That'd be dope, yeah.
That'd be cool. Why not, right?
Why not?
That gets you some traction. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah, but the thing that's great about being a young up-and-coming fighter, and then honestly any fighter, but specifically young, is it gives you a lot of opportunities that involve boxing but aren't directly fighting.
Yeah.
So it's big for the brand. It's huge for the brand. Would you ever? I know this is an interest. You're probably gonna say no, but I'm out of curiosity. What do you think about getting into like one of these celebrity UFC, MMA type of cross fights? What do you think?
That would be pretty cool. My sister's a jiu-jitsu instructor. My brother-in-law, he's a wrestling instructor.
Okay.
I think if I had to, like, you know, I would have all the right people in my corner.
Yeah, of course.
And bro, I'm just a winner.
You just know how to get it done.
I'm a winner, bro. Like,
you can adapt.
And I got some nasty hands. If I put on some 4-ounce gloves, come on.
Oh man, would you welcome a fight? You know, Francis Ngannou needs a get-back fight after getting knocked out by AJ. You know what I mean? Fight this 19-year-old.
To box them? Oh yeah, man. I'll take any of them.
Of course. How do you think these? Do you think?
Don't get me wrong. Francis Ngannou's a monster.
Yeah, his power. You don't want to. That's a fight you'd have to fight much more defensive-minded. You know what I mean? But once you get in there, once you get comfortable, you bully the bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a strong dude.
What do you think about how Tyson Fury looked in that fight? What was your interpretation?
A lot of people say he looked like a bag of milk. You know? But no, I mean, look. Everybody has those camps where they don't feel that good or like
don't take it serious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and I feel like for him, that happened to him that camp. I think he took him a little too lightly, and he didn't realize how strong Francis was.
Yeah.
You got to be in shape to fight a dude like that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. But
we saw what AJ did. So when he was fighting Hrgovic, you know, the early rounds, Hrgovic was cracking him and getting him good. But you know, you got to what's really impressive in the Bois end is that Hrgovic could have easily been an Olympic gold medalist. Did you see his Olympic fights? He got.
I do think Hrgovic didn't train as hard as he should have that fight.
You know what it is? That boy's been waiting for that AJ payday for so long.
Bro, he got probably paid easily $10 million.
Yeah, of course. But he's been waiting for the AJ payday because he's been AJ's mandatory for a while, and then now Usyk's, and he wanted that fight. And the fact that they made him fight Dubois almost was like a hurdle, and it was like, oh boy, I got to fight Dubois now. And I guess he realized for so long he was supposed to get this massive fight that he just viewed Dubois as his prospect, his contender, and Dubois has gotten better.
And they were, you know, they sparred back in the day, and supposedly Philip, I guess, beat him up.
I'd assume so, yeah. He was way better back then. And
Philip's slick, though, for how big he is.
And he's very fundamentally sound, very controlled.
But I think he got real loose that last fight. I think that's what it was. He was too calm.
He got dragged.
Even when he was losing, he was like still like just real
he wasn't waking
relaxed.
up. He wasn't waking up. He didn't realize that this guy's about to get you out.
And bro, Dubois hits hard. I seen Dubois spar before. And he could crack.
Yeah.
He punches hard.
He's a puncher, and him versus AJ, I think that's one of the most fun fights in the sport right now. I can't wait.
The thing is, Dubois could take a punch.
He has a good chin, yeah.
Dubois, I mean, AJ, he showed he's kind of chinny.
A little bit, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
He has heart, but
Andy's a decent puncher, but he's not a big puncher.
Not at all. No, compared to the other guy, compared to Dubois, that's what I'll say. Compared to Dubois, no. Nothing.
Andy doesn't even have half the power AJ has.
And it's funny because
Dubois
has been stopped, but both of those stoppages, the first one was due to his eye closing, and the other one was just accumulative. He was just like Usyk just broke him down. It wasn't power.
I think Dubois went through a bad mental state for a while in a part of his career, and I feel like he gave up. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the Usyk fight and that big baby fight really got him going.
Are you too young to fight in the UK, or they let 19-year-olds fight in the UK, right?
Yeah. There's another kid that's like my age.
Yeah. I think a good fight for you, funnily enough, I'm just as a fan, Joe Joyce. I want to see that. You versus Joe Joyce. I think that would be a really, maybe not next fight, but maybe like the fight after that, 2 fights. Matchmakers, if you're watching. I don't think that's a bad fight at all for you, bro. I think stylistically, I think it's a good name. I think it's the right time. You're building yourself up. That would be a fight like that against someone like that. I think would be a barn burner too. You know what I mean? Do you prefer to fight someone that would make it not like what's tougher, but what's more fun for you? A guy that brings it, or a guy that you got to figure out?
Nah, like I don't like dudes that run around. You know.
Yeah.
I like dudes that come out strong. Mm-hmm. Those dudes get punched.
Fair enough. Yeah, and with your style, you like to go upstairs, you go downstairs, you pick them apart, you counter them from the outside, fake them out. You know what I mean?
Bro. Got to.
You feel like you're almost like a welterweight and a heavyweight body, a little bit, a part of you.
Yeah, 100%. I watch a lot of smaller boxers too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
You know, you got to take a little bit from everybody, and what I've learned as a heavyweight is like, if you can make these smaller guys miss in sparring or like
these bigger guys aren't gonna get close. Man. These bigger guys are gonna get close.
I stand right in front of them, they can't hit me. You know.
You have any mentorship from these older fighters you've talked to in your life? You're 19. I know how these fighters are.
Teofimo helps me out a lot, man.
Oh, it's great.
He always gives me advice.
That's great.
He sponsors me too.
Really nice.
Yeah, he always looks out, man. So he's a good dude. And
he's that guy at 140 right now. That's basically, especially with Devin losing, that's Teofimo's way right now. Sabril Matias just lost. Devin just lost.
And people kept saying Matias would whoop Teofimo. I'm like, bro, that's the
Teofimo's too sharp, bro. He's too sharp.
But the thing, people don't realize, the perfect fight for Teo is always a
guy coming
forward. Like
that's true. You look at his toughest fights; it's the awkward guys, the Sandor Martin,
the dudes that don't want to engage.
Even George was, and you got to realize George Teofimo was like 10% of himself, bro. Like that guy barely was alive in that fight, and he dropped him, almost got the dub. Some people actually thought deserved the win.
Yeah, I mean it was a really close fight. I think 100% Teo stops him in less than 4, 5.
And if you just I can't imagine George beating Teofimo at his best. If you just look at their fights,
like the Teo that fought Lomachenko
or that fought Josh Taylor, yeah. Come on.
That fight was crazy.
It's crazy. I thought Josh Taylor was gonna take him, bro.
Everybody thought that. I didn't think that.
I knew Teofimo had it in him, but Josh Taylor, I've always been so
That's
high
the thing,
on
bro.
him.
You got to put Teal in hard situations if you really want to see how good he is.
Yeah, and Sabri Matias, the thing is, his defense.
I think he does a lot better with Crawford than people think.
You think so, for real? I respect. I do think he would make it interesting. I just feel Crawford's size is what would do it.
Bro, but like Teal's big.
He is, but Crawford's fighting at 154 now. Like,
yeah, but like, how much weight do you think Crawford like cut for that?
15, maybe 20.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? But I also do think Crawford's like the best or second best fighter in the sport. Like, I'm huge on Bud, and I do think Teofimo is up there.
I don't think Inoue is that good.
You're not that big on the news.
Like, I think he's good. I think he's great, but I don't think he's like.
You don't think he's Usyk Crawford level?
Yeah.
I do have Usyk 1 and Crawford 2.
I need him to beat some big names in America.
Did you see? You saw the Fulton fight though. That was a good one. Fulton's good.
But it was in Japan, man. That people don't realize how much that does to you mentally.
It does, and even physically a little bit. I feel like even physically.
You know, like you're on a plane for 20 hours.
Yeah, and the time difference, and you're in the. It's a lot.
So like, cool. You beat the guy that came to you. I want to see you go to the guy and beat him.
That's true. That's true. I feel that.
And I understand. He's beat all these guys without a doubt. He had a hard fight with Nonito.
The first time was a very tough fight. People actually
and that guy was old.
Yeah.
He's old, man.
Yeah, but we saw Donero knocked out Obali, the WBC champion, 4 rounds after. So Donero was still a beast. And I knew he did demolish him in the rematch.
You know who else is older and is great? Lara.
Oh, yeah. I think
he's getting better, bro.
You know what's crazy, bro? I always thought Lara was better than Rigo, bro. I always preferred Lara to Rigo, and I liked Rigo a lot for a while, but I always felt Lara...
I think as the age went, Lara got better, and Rigo...
He just stopped fighting pretty much.
Yeah.
And you saw that Casemiro fight. I don't know if you remember. It was like one of the worst fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And bro, I still want to see Triple G Lara. That's a fight that was supposed to happen. I think it would be so interesting.
Lara would beat him now, I feel like.
I wouldn't be surprised. Triple G's like 41 now, 42. But
Lara is too, though.
But Lara's aging.
He's 40.
And it's it's crazy. It's
He's getting
rare.
better, bro.
It's rare to see a guy that age who depends so much on reflex. I mean, depends on IQ
But he's becoming a puncher.
Yeah, he's knocking these guys out. It's rare to see how well he's aging.
He's not fighting like he used to, though.
Yeah, he's dominating everyone.
He's sitting down. And
you ever meet Lara? Ever talk with him?
No, I haven't.
That guy would teach you a lot. I feel like he'd teach anyone a lot. That guy, I thought
he's a real student.
You thought he'd be Canelo, didn't you? Right?
You know, I thought Canelo did land the bigger punches.
He definitely did. The bigger shots, yeah.
And just depending on your judge, like
it was close. It was closer than the Triple G fight.
And it's just like if you want to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. You know.
You believe that? That's fair.
It is. It is. You can't be in a 50-50 fight, right? And if you're not the champion and you win by 1%, like sometimes it's just not enough. Like,
but do you believe that's how it should be, or that's because I know that's how it definitely is. But do you believe that's fair? Do you think it should be round by round?
I feel like it's been like that forever. And
if
it's been like that forever, bro, like that's the rule.
Yeah, I feel you. But it is round by round, though. But
for sure.
But you just know how the judges are. You know the judges are going to favor the champ if it's close, and it's more.
That's what makes it even better because when that champion loses, it's because he really lost.
Yeah, I do like that. I like that part of it.
But I understand. Like I haven't been in a world championship fight, and I haven't lost by 1%. You know, and that would suck.
Yeah, that would hurt.
But
that would hurt, especially when they don't want to rematch. Imagine that they don't want to rematch you after. There's been situations.
I mean, I think that depends on your coaches and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, you're your manager. You gotta make something in the contract to help you out with that. But I mean, honestly, bro, it sucks that it's like that. But it's like the big brother, you know.
Yeah.
Your big brother is going to have that superpower over you until he doesn't.
And you're the oldest brother, correct? The oldest sibling?
Nah, I'm the middle child, actually.
Really? I always thought you're the oldest. We're probably the oldest that I've met. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's 3 older than me. I have 2 older brothers and a sister.
Nice. You feel like having all those siblings has matured you and made you more...
I mean...
Because that's rare to have that many siblings.
I mostly only lived with 4 or 3 of them, my 3 youngest. So I've always been like the oldest in the household. But I mean, I used to live with like all my cousins. We all lived together, and I used to get bullied a lot.
You did, for real? Is that how you got into fighting?
No.
But once you got into fighting, you were kind of like, all right, now I can fight. So that's a little extra.
I just always been a scrapper, bro. Like
you got it in you.
I always fought in school, and when I first got into the gym, I never wanted to train. I just wanted to spar.
Of course, that's the most fun part, right?
I just wanted to spar.
I remember I used to go to the same gym as this guy, and one time you're jokingly sparring with the younger kids. You called me up. I'm like, oh gosh, this guy's calling me up to spar, bro. Because I see him put a little bit of power in these body shots. I'm like, oh boy, I don't want to get touched by this guy, bro. Like I might take a knee, bro.
That's good. It's good for you, bro.
Of course, you need to know how to fight. First of all, you also have to have been in a fight to know.
I think like just as a man, you gotta know how to fight.
100%. So you always preferred. You never got into like Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling. You've always been a boxer.
I've learned a little bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff.
It's good to have it, but it's not
Take
something
down
you need.
defenses.
But the thing is, I don't even think, like, for someone like you, I don't even think you need to learn jiu-jitsu because you're a big heavyweight boxer. And first of all, no one's going to press you that doesn't know you. Yeah. And if they do, you're putting them away from the first shot.
Yo, like, I don't got a big ego on the street and stuff. Like, dudes, I've had problems with dudes, but I just walk away.
Yeah, of course.
You don't get anything. I don't fight for free anymore.
You have too much to lose if you end up putting a dude to sleep. You know what I mean? You're a pro fighter, and a lot of these guys have nothing to live for in the street. You know what I mean?
Bro. You know, probably get in less trouble if you shoot somebody.
yeah. Probably. And you know, it's funny, you bring up bullies. I bet none of those people bully you now. They would have nothing to say now, you know?
I could beat up every single one of my brothers and cousins now. And, like, the kids in school, like, I mean, you know, that's school. Yeah. That's school for you, and I think the world needs bullying.
No, it definitely does, because bullies point out your flaws that your friends don't point out.
Flaws, bro. I just think, like, these kids are soft, and they need to get bullied a little bit.
You need a little toughness. You need to push.
Yeah, man. It's good for you.
Especially as a guy, you know, you got to learn how to deal with criticism, and you got to learn how to deal with people disliking you.
Because it only gets worse.
It only gets worse. Of course, you can't be, you know, sensitive. Oh, he said something. You got to tough it out, man. Come on, you got to push through it. As a fighter especially, you see a lot of these fighters getting very emotional over social media. They're arguing with people, arguing with the fans. I mean, come on, you're above that. You know, you gotta have thick skin as a fighter, especially. You know, it could be roid rage for some of these fighters. You never know, right? That could be why some of them don't know how to handle the criticism. But have you dealt? I feel like you as a fighter, you definitely dealt with like trolls as well. Because I deal with trolls all the time. And I don't deal with them, but I get a lot of them. So I imagine
I just keep them in my
it's always people who don't show their face and will never fight you. And you know that all these people that dislike you on social media, whatever, they wouldn't stand a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even entertain that stuff.
Don't even entertain it because you're above it at this point. And
I don't care.
And one day, you know, once you become...
I'm a real chill dude, man.
Yeah, you're not looking for that. And once you become a champion, you don't want people saying, oh, I was going back and forth with Lorenzo Medina.
That was the guy that knocked out that dude in Subway, right? Come on, man.
Oh, man.
I don't want to be known as that guy.
So what do you think about the fighter diet? What do you recommend for these fighters? What do you think?
I mean, I'm a heavyweight, bro. Like,
yeah, so that's why I'm asking. Yeah,
I got a little diet that I follow like during camp and stuff, and I try to follow it out of camp. It's nothing crazy, you know. Stick to whole foods.
Yeah.
You know, nothing, like I try to stay away from processed stuff. You know, good fats.
How's the life of a fighter? Because I know like a 9-to-5 job compared to a fighter. The fighter lifestyle is way better in one way, but it's also much more grueling.
You gotta hustle, man. You gotta hustle.
It's hustle.
You know, you're not getting paid a lot of money when you first come up.
For sure.
So you got to build your social media.
And you got to know that you're that guy that when you get better, you'll make that money. You can't just be...
You got to know how to convince people. That's the problem. It's like, I put in the effort and I do all the convincing in the ring. There's some dudes that don't.
Yeah.
But, you know, you gotta show the work. And honestly, like these companies and stuff, they're going to see the work you put in. They're going to reach out and they're going to help you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I appreciate all my sponsors. Toyota Hollywood's a big one.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, they help me out a lot.
Shout out to them.
I have a lot of sponsors.
You drive that nice. Yeah, I like you drive. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, man, they hook me up and they take care of me, my family. So
yeah.
Of course, you know, you gotta show love.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are gonna help you coming up.
Yeah, of course.
Those are the people that are gonna help you.
And you make sure never to forget those guys too. When you make it, they stay loyal to you, stay loyal to them. You know, that's what it's all about is loyalty. Because this is a sport where I feel like there's not that much loyalty, bro. People stab each other in the back like it's nothing in the sport. So when you find a group and a team that does stick with you and stays loyal, that means a lot.
Yeah, I'm a real loyal person, man.
I feel that.
I stuck with my team. I've never done my coaches dirty. You know, I always gave them their credit when it was due. So I love my team and you know, as long as they do me right, I'm gonna be doing them right.
Of course. And once you make it big, you know.
Bro, like I can't wait to make it big so I can help out all my people.
That's the right mindset.
That's the whole point.
God likes seeing that, bro.
You can't have no fun by yourself, bro.
Of course, bro. It's lonely at the top when you're back. You know?
So you gotta have those people that really care about you.
So, when it comes to you being a heavyweight, how nice is it not having to cut weight? Like you cut amount.
I mean, I don't know honestly. I don't know honestly because I never had to cut weight. You feel me?
But do you aim for a certain weight? Or
yeah. Me and my coach me and my coach Jeff Porras, we always go over, and he'll tell me like around what weight he wants me at, and you know I'll be around that weight.
Fair enough.
Like I planned my last one, I said 230, 235. I weighed in 235.
Nice. That you were definitely heavier previously, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's gotta keep that speed. Gotta improve that speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Like anywhere 230, 240 is a good weight for me. I try not to stay out of that.
Yeah.
Like try not to go past that out of camp. If I do, you know, I'll go back on the diet and lose it.
I saw the dumbest tweet probably I've ever seen in my life about heavyweight boxing. It had to do with Jared Anderson's fight, actually, where they said, because Bacoli was so much heavier, this isn't fair, 40-pound weight difference. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Yo, that's why we're the king of boxing.
You fight anyone.
Leo, Wilder said it best. You guys worry about 2, 3, 4 pounds. We're knocking people out that are
50, 60, 70, 80,
heavier than us, you know?
What's the heaviest weight difference you had to deal with so far? Approximate.
Dwight Gibson, he was like 330 pounds. I was 230. Bro, I was hitting him. I would not.
That caught me off guard. I thought you were saying 270, 280.
Nah, no matter how much I hit him, bro, he just wouldn't go down. It's funny enough, I ended up breaking his ribs.
That's crazy. I thought the guy would have like a bunch
I had to reach past it.
That guy must have like a bulletproof vest for protection if the amount of.
Yo, I felt like I was in the aqua bag the whole night. It was terrible. And he had a chin too, man.
Of course. Wait, you stopped that guy or you went the full?
Yeah.
What round? You third round? Okay, yeah, I remember.
I threw a lot of punches, bro.
You had to unload.
I was probably throwing 100 punches around.
You had to unload on that guy. Now, that's actually that caught me. I didn't realize it'd be that much of a difference, but. You know, it's crazy. People are complaining 30, 40-pound difference. This is what makes the heavyweight division the most glamorized division in the history of the sport.
People are like, why don't cruiserweights get that love? I'm like,
because they're fighting guys their weight.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The unpredictability of heavyweight is what makes it so special, bro. That's what makes it next level.
Bro, look at David Haye. Like, he was knocking out dudes. And
he was the second best heavyweight of his time, or third best heavyweight of his time behind the Klitschko's. Best not named Klitschko was David Haye, and that was a cruiserweight. He came back to the sport and fought a cruiserweight. So
the only cruiserweight that I could say even like is close to his legacy is Evander Holyfield.
Yeah. Obviously not including Usyk.
Huh?
Not including Usyk.
No, not including Usyk.
Usyk's just that guy.
But Usyk's not done yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think if Usyk beats Fury again, oh man, that legacy is.
Nah, he's already a Hall of Famer.
Oh no, he's been a Hall of Famer since cruiserweight, but he's like all time.
What he did to Tony Bellew was crazy.
And Bellew was holding his own. People act like Usyk was dominating that fight. No, that was a tough fight. But then once Usyk
he knocked him out, bro,
put him to sleep, bro.
Everybody forgot the rest of the fight.
Put him to sleep. I feel like Usyk would be such a great guy for you to train with if you ever got that. I know you would love the opportunity to work with a guy like him.
He's my size, you know. Like, I always look for heavyweights around my size to see what they do and to learn. Like, I've never been that egotistical dude that that doesn't listen to other fighters. I listen to everybody.
That's how you learn. You got to be coachable, yeah.
And people don't realize you get better even when you're not training. You know, watching boxing, bro. I don't watch TV really. I really don't.
Boxing's your passion, you know.
Bro, all I watch is boxing.
I feel like I hear boxers say they never watch any fights. I'm like, bro, you're a fighter. How do you not watch any fights? You know what I mean?
I love watching boxing, bro.
Of course, and it's entertaining. I mean, it's super.
I mean, some people say it's boring. He says it's boring sometimes. But like, I mean, if you don't understand what's going on, it's like me watching jiu-jitsu.
Me watching soccer, I get bored watching soccer.
Nah, it's like me watching this guy wrestle or do jiu-jitsu. I can't watch that. You know?
Guys rolling on.
It's boring, bro, to me. Like, but I don't understand, and it's not my passion.
Yeah, if you understand it, it's different. You know what I mean? And what I love about the sport, and I feel like when people watch you, they get is the fight could end any second. You know what I mean? It could end. It's not like basketball.
Nobody thought I was knocking out Joshua Temple when I did. That place was crazy when I did.
I remember. I've seen ringside footage of the fight.
Nah, but like when you were there, like the ring was shaking and stuff. It was crazy. It was the best I ever felt.
Now listen,
I actually was super sick that fight. I wanted to throw up.
I do remember you mentioning that too. So you had like a flu or more of like a?
Man, I don't know what. Bro, I had a really bad
food poisoning, maybe.
Nah, bro, I don't know what it was. I had a really bad fever the night of, or the night before. I lost like 4 pounds just sleeping.
Wow, really?
And then. Like, I just felt real dehydrated.
You're, like, soaked when you woke up of sweat?
Yeah, and then, like, going into the third round, I got really nauseous, and I started, like, almost throwing up.
Oh, man.
Because, like, obviously, I just got dropped the last round, they said. So, going into the third round, my coach was like, yo, let's go, pick it up. So, I try to pick it up. First combination I throw,
You gag.
Bro, and I almost throw up all over the ring. So, I just started moving my feet.
You're like, hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna relock in, but I gotta like make sure I don't throw up in the fight because the ref will probably.
The only 2 rounds I thought I lost were obviously the second.
The 10-8, you know what I mean? The fake 10-8
and then the third because I didn't throw anything. But then the fourth, fifth, and sixth, I thought I won.
So it would have been tied on the cards technically, but you would have gotten the win in a fair world where they wouldn't have tried robbing you. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is what it is. I don't care.
Where was that fight?
Orlando.
That was Orlando. Okay.
That was in the Jake Paul undercard.
Yeah, I remember. That's where he knocked out Andre August, or was the other guy?
Yeah. He was actually a cool dude. I talked to him.
Hey, I'm glad he got the payday. You know what I mean?
Good for him.
Can't hate on him getting the payday. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Would you fight a celebrity boxer though? If the money's right?
Yeah, why not, bro?
The money's right. I can't think of any guy that would be your weight. You know what I mean? Is there anyone that's a celebrity that isn't known as a fighter that would want to fight?
The only person I know that's been heavyweight is
Frank Gore? No, he's not heavyweight. Well,
he is.
He is.
But that's my boy.
That's your boy, though, of course. You trained that guy, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I didn't train him, but I sparred with him a lot.
Nice.
For like a year and a half.
He probably got way better after training with you.
Bro, it got to the point where I would just go spar him to spar.
Really?
He was giving me. We would do like 8 4-minute rounds, 30-second break.
Oh yeah.
We were working hard.
Pushing each other to the limit, and he was in NFL.
16 seasons.
16 seasons. So he's a strong guy, of good discipline and good endurance. But
and he was 40 years old, bro, and he was putting out the work he was putting in was crazy.
But I bet you know that the boxing endurance is way better, way more intense than anything ever.
It took him a long time to like get into that boxing shape, but he did, man. And bro, he works hard.
Shout out to him. Yeah. And he's looked great in the ring as well. And when it comes
he knocked them dudes out.
I saw that fight. He put that guy to sleep. He put him to sleep. That was very impressive. Very impressive. For a guy that's 40, just getting into the sport. I mean, listen, football players.
He fought an MMA fighter that been in boxing matches before. Had a winning.
Who did he fight again?
I forgot his name.
It was definitely something I heard of though. Shoot.
Nah.
You sure?
Nah, I don't think so. But he had a winning record. He only had like 1 loss. Big dude too. He was like 6'5". Frank's not tall. Frank's 5'9".
Oh man, he got that football strength.
And he came over with an overhand right and turned that guy into a like those balloons in front of the dealerships.
Put him into
the dealerships. The ones that are just yeah, man. He killed that dude.
Oh man! So you tell people and you know yourself that the boxing cardio, because anytime I do any other sport, I'm the best cardio out of anyone when I play soccer, basketball. When I'm training with boxers, I feel like I'm like washed. I'm like, what's going on here? Like these guys can go all day. I'm exhausted.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's a lot of core work. I don't know. But I don't know. I could come off the street and if I have to do 10 rounds, I'll do them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will get out of shape like easily. I gotta stay in the gym.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
Just some people are like that. I'm like that. You know. But that's why you just keep running. You know, just maintain.
Have you ever had an amateur fight where you felt that like you had to dig deep, you had to push hard, and you got the job done, and they didn't give it to you?
I fought Cameron Patton. He was like an 8-time national champion.
And this was what, your 5th fight or 6th fight or like
6th fight?
Like sanctioned amateur fight, because obviously you've trained like crazy, but.
Yeah, it was a hard fight, man. I was hitting that dude with like triple right hands and stuff. And he quit boxing after that tournament. What? Yeah.
Wow.
But I thought I beat him easily. They didn't give me it.
Yeah.
I thought the only round he might have won was like the last one. And not even the whole round, like half the round.
I remember watching your brother fight an amateur fight. I was watching through the phone, and he must have like dominated every round. He won all 3 rounds and like dominated them. He didn't just edge them out, and it was a split decision win. I was like, what is going on?
You know, like with amateur boxing in America, you just gotta show face. You know, it sucks. Sometimes you're gonna lose fights you shouldn't have lost, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep showing face, keep popping up. Keep showing up, and you know these judges are gonna recognize you, and they're gonna see you put in that work, and they're gonna give it to you. Bro.
Eventually, yeah, hopefully
they'll give it to you.
Do you want your kids to get into boxing or no?
Not my daughter.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Not my daughter. I want her to go like.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I want her to know how to fight. But
defend, yeah.
I don't want her to like.
You have sons? Would you want them to box or no?
If they want to.
I feel like definitely learn how to protect themselves. Though.
Yeah, they're gonna know how to fight, but I think if my son can make the same amount of money as I do, just keeping not fighting, then why not?
Fair enough, yeah.
But we'll see.
Do you have any final message you want to give to the fans watching for your next fight and just what to expect from you in general?
Man, just keep an eye out. This is my time, and you guys already know what's up. You guys see, I have a track record. I show up, I show out every time, and I keep doing the same thing.
Where can they find you on social media?
On Instagram at Lorenzo Medina. _____. Twitter, the Giant Killer, 2 R's at the end.
The Giant Killer, okay, nice.
Yeah.
That 330-pound guy you took out.
Big boy.
We'll see if we get any more
I
of
took out
those.
Federico Pacheco, the big ass Mexican.
Wait, did you actually fight that guy? In the amateurs you fought him, you said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He was my last amateur fight.
And you want to fight him in the pros, he doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you do? You can't get them all, right? You can't force them in the ring. You can't drag them by their hair to the ring.
Nah, that's all good.
So you gotta keep pushing forward. But yeah, I generally appreciate having you on. It was great. Remember to check this guy out soon because he may not be a champ yet. He may not have had any title fights yet, but soon you guys are gonna remember. He was on this podcast as a prospect, and you'll see him as a champion, and you could say that you saw it coming. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. So thank you to everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate it. God bless everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.